Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, KPZ, and you are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review in World of Warships Legends. All right, today I am bringing you a Superprize ship. That's right, your hero, through judicious application of my credit card, was able to unlock a Superprize during the orgy of Christmas crates. In fact, during this 20 crate unlock, I also got the Turpits. So RNG smiled upon me. I want to say I got 6 or 7 ships from the Christmas crates. And we are here on Two Brothers Domination Match down tier in the French Tier 7 premium battleship Jean Bart. Loved, hated, feared, despised throughout World of Warships Legends. Like the Dunkirk and the Strasbourg, you've got all forward turret arrangement. You can see there an impressive array of secondary batteries, although they're mostly facing to the rear. They also give you a 100 AA rating, although again, I would postulate that's probably more towards the rear of the ship. But nonetheless, that is what it is. As you can see, our consumables, 3 heals, 2 main battery reload boosters, and 2 speed boosts. You can swap out that main battery reload booster for something else, but really, why would you ever do that? Secondaries. Why would you swap that out for secondaries? Who knows? All right. So, Tech Tree, French battleship, the Richelieu. We're going to light him up here before he can get fully up to speed. Really nice shell grouping. We hit him for a Citadel and hit that main battery reload booster, although I will admit, kind of wasted it. Dispersion, not so great. Didn't aim so great. Don't really do a whole lot of damage there. Enemy destroyer in the cap. And so I'm lucky that I stopped behind this island. Other enemy battleships out there. And we're just going to chill out. I'm pretty confident in my positioning right now. I think this side of the map has a huge advantage in positioning due to this little island. So if you are on this map, Dos Hermanos, as Arcoon likes to call it, and you're on this side, that's kind of what this little outcropping is for. A ship or two can just park behind here, not necessarily worry about torpedoes, may even get a little citadel protection if you're more broadside in a cruiser, and you can just farm damage here from the enemy ships. We'll throw some shells as scare tactics toward the Z-23. You can see we do get a couple of hits and a couple of overpens. We are going to start backing up a little bit. Not that I'm worried about the Z-23, but more ships coming out, and so I want to not be the farthest ship forward. So maybe they shoot at somebody else. Waiting for this Iowa to creep out from behind the rock here. I was hoping we could access his citadel due to his profile, but no, we will not. So shell grouping of the Jean Bart, not so great. If it had a spotter plane, on the other hand, I think it would be really OP. I would give up speed boost for the spotter plane. At least I'd feel comfortable doing that in a build. But instead, we're shooting at this Richelieu. Kind of underestimated his speed, as you can see there. Those shells are from someone else. Our shells did not really do any damage. And so I'm going to aim a little bit farther ahead on this next salvo to see if we have some better luck there. And we really won't. Better grouping, but he turned in, and so those all kind of missed him as well. Just imagine how much damage I would have right now if the shell grouping had been better or my aim had been better. Amazing to think of. So more shots at the Richelieu. He's just going to keep sailing this way. We're just going to keep shooting. And again, although we're not being very productive, we do have over 50,000 damage. This Iowa is starting to attract my attention. He is creeping in here to the cap, so we're going to shoot. I'm aiming up into the superstructure there. Hoping to get those shells to come down in. You can see we got a bunch of pens there. Not sure that they did a lot of damage, or we may have hit a damage saturated part of the ship. We're going to start backing up again. I'm worried about being flanked, but I was underestimating the positioning of the Richelieu. I thought it was farther around the other island. That's what looking at the mini-map or not looking at the mini-map will do for you. Again, those shells just ricochet, so we'll switch our attention back to the isle here. And we do get set on fire, we're just going to damage count it, or repair party, damage count, whatever. We're going to do both those things. And we're going to keep shooting at the Iowa here. Again, aiming for the superstructure because I'm that kind of guy. As you can see, bunch of overpens and ricochets, but we still do some good damage. And he is on fire, I believe, and we're just going to keep shooting at him because I think we want to get to kill pinch to start the game off. Can we do it? Yes, we can. All right, kill number one. Hey, look at that. The Richelieu coming out over here. We will hit our reload booster again. Oh, he knocks out my turret again. Good grief. Well, will one get it done? Yes, it will. Kill number two. All right. So we got a Mass over here. We got a George over here. We got a Bismarck over here. We will shoot at the Mass even as he drops spot. Our team has kind of narrowed the gap a little bit. We're tied, although we have a lead in points and we have a lead in cap circles. So the enemy battleships are over here. All the other enemy ships are near the Charlie cap or the Bravo cap, whichever one the red cap is. So we're going to shoot at the Bismarck here. I really thought those would do a little bit more damage. Unfortunately, he slowed down, I think, so those shells don't do a lot. But clearly you can see the damage potential is there, especially with the forward-facing battery. You can kind of just angle and not really have to move around a lot on a map like this. You can really take advantage of this terrain to really pile up a lot of damage. And I think that's what we've done to pretty good effect, although clearly I think if we had better aim, we could have done a ton of more damage. But I'm not going to complain. I mean, we got 2 kills and 76,000 damage. We will shoot at this Georgia here as he's kind of backing up. Had very high hopes for that salvo. Just kind of a letdown, not gonna lie. All right, so now we're kind of up against it. We're down a ship. They're capping Alpha. I've pretty much concluded the other enemy ships are in Alpha at this point. So shooting at this Bismarck here again, I thought that was a good salvo. It does some good damage, but the Bismarck is going to sail right into these torpedoes. Good job, Kleber. Way to take him out. All right, so we're even on ships again. They have Alpha. I am worried they're going to start coming up around the corner into Charlie here, shooting at the mass. Again, good, not great salvo. We are over 100,000 damage. But as you can see right here, I get that itchy sensation at the back of my neck. So full power, and we hit our speed boost as we fire again at the Massachusetts. You can set me on fire, Massachusetts. That's okay. Again, that salvo, not so great. But we are bailing because I don't trust what's behind me at this point. All right, another salvo out of mass. Yes, Colbert, I am aware they're coming up behind me. That salvo really lackluster damage-wise. You can see how quickly we get up to speed. We were just at 29 knots right there. So that speed boost doesn't play around. I'm not using propulsion. I wouldn't use the propulsion mod, but see how quickly we were able to get around that island and protect ourselves with the terrain. against that cruiser and destroyer, so that's pretty nice. All right, we have switched our focus to the Georgia. Georgia, in my opinion, not that heavily armored. So again, we're aiming up a little bit, hoping to get these shells to come down into the middle of the ship. And as you can see, we got a citadel there. We also unlocked the Confederate medal. And we're just going to keep driving at the Georgia and shooting at the Georgia. The Georgia of these two ships, in my opinion, is the weaker target. And I am just going to continue to try to angle a little bit and access. We unlock high caliber metal. Got to hit that damage con there. Yep. The Claver is telling me to get back for some reason. Really don't understand what's going on there, but maybe he has a point later on, and I'll mention that. Nice hit there. Really clocking the Georgia. His angling is just not doing him any good against these French guns. And so even though we're being shot at by both ships, I guess this battleship behind us is getting a free ride. He wails on the Georgia. We finish off the Georgia, kill number 3. All right, devoting our attention to the mass, here's where I should have kind of throttled back a little bit. I didn't realize that until the end, but we're just going to continue to use our speed boost to chase down the mass here. But if I had been smart, I would have stayed within will to rebuild range of the Kleber. Now, I was worried about the ships coming up behind here, but I should have gone more to the port, gotten closer to the Kleber, stayed in will to rebuild range, and finish off the mass. Instead, I'm just trying to chase down the mass. He is turning, and I don't know why that salvo didn't perform better. A lot of ricochets. I thought he was at a pretty good angle for us. But as you can see, he's got me on fire, even though will to rebuild is active. Essentially, I'm going to sail out of the range of will to rebuild, either from the Kleber or the battleship behind me, and that was a mistake. Right there, I'm out of will to rebuild range, and I should not have done that. So, knowing that in hindsight, we are going to continue to shoot at the Massachusetts, aiming up a little bit to compensate for his turning, and we're whittling him down. I believe his secondaries are going to set me on fire any moment now. And really just one more salvo to finish him off. Here comes the reload. And yes, we get shells off. We finish off the mass. And then here it is, a lame duck secondary battery hit. Sets us on fire. Now I'm trying to turn around to get back to one of my teammates. Please help me. Help me with will to rebuild. It isn't going to matter. No matter how much I beg the Iowa or the Kleber, neither of them are going to be able to help me. And I'm going to die here, and we will clip ahead the match to the finish when that happens. There we go. All right, and I clipped ahead to the end of the match there. Post Brandenburg milestones. Whoopie-doo. All right, here we are on the victory screen. High caliber medal, Confederate medal, 168,654 total damage, 4 kills in the Jean Bart. We ended up with 468,000 plus silver and 5425 ship XP and commander XP, in addition to a bunch of milestones you can see down below. There we are on the top of the board, 2782 base XP with those 4 big kills. Really like the Jean Bart, although I gotta admit, you're the subject of much hatred when you were in the ship. Very OP. All right, let's go into the port and look at the upgrades. We got Armament Durability Mod 1. As you can see, you really need that. Damage Control System Mod 2. Although I wouldn't blame anybody for using either of the other ones. Target Acquisition System Mod 1. And Main Battery Mod 3. Consumables, you got 3 charges of the repair party, 2 charges of the main battery reload booster, and 2 charges of the engine boost. I would never use that secondary targeting thing. We're running the Epic Battle Booster, Type 9 permanent camo, and the Bastille Day flag. 62,100 hit points and a 32% torpedo damage reduction with our build. Got those 2 quad 380 millimeter turrets, 19.8 kilometer firing range, reload just 20.6 seconds, turn in 32.4 seconds. HE shells do 5,400 damage with a 36% fire chance. AP shells do 11,900 damage. Bunch of secondaries, 12 twin 100s, reload every 3 seconds, do 1,400 shell damage with a 5% fire chance. 3 triple 152 turrets, reload every 12 seconds, do 2,200 HE shell damage with a 12% fire chance. The secondary range on both sets of secondaries is 4.5 kilometers. Just don't recommend a secondary build or any secondary enhancement. As you saw, those all face essentially to the rear. Speaking of secondaries, they are dual purpose, do count as AA, although, again, mostly for the rear half of your ship based on their placement. Maneuverability 32.1 knots, 850-meter turning circle, 16-second rudder shift time, and concealment 14.7 on the surface, 12.3 from the air, 14.1 when firing in smoke. Taking a look at the armor viewer, I like what I see. Got those 2 forward-facing turrets. You can see the turret faces and the barbettes are extremely heavily armored, although the rest of the turrets aren't, so you are prone to getting those turrets knocked out. Slightly above water citadel or at the waterline. Do have a heavier plate in the front here, but again, you don't want to show your broadside. 32 millimeter bow, so if you're a mathematician, you know what that means. Torpedo protection does extend down the sides. Again, those barbettes, very heavily armored, but the turrets are lightly armored except for the face, so they are prone to being knocked out. In my opinion, the rest of this armor isn't anything to write home about. Armor experts may disagree. All right, here's our commander, level 14, legendary level 3, Robert Jajard. Unless you really like the space trait, in my opinion, there is not a need to advance him any farther than 14.3. We got Cunningham and Geprat, flammable cannoneer, crisscross. I wouldn't use gyrating drill bits because of the speed penalty. In row 3, unique to French ships, I think. Megalomania, really like this for the French ships. Boost the reload at a small hit point penalty. So I take that on both French commanders. Reaching out XXL, I just don't think either of the other skills are really worth it, especially properly meticulous and will to rebuild. So that's the Jean Bart. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy the notoriety of the Superprize. Still talking about Megalomania, how great it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great and everything. Really recommend it. Wouldn't use anything else in row 3. And again, that's why I'm saying you don't need them any higher than 14.3 because Megalomania is maxed out at level 14, legendary level 3. So I just don't think there's any need to advance them further. Anyway, that's the Superprize. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. See you on the next video, everybody. Thanks.